to watch!
Every decision I've taken has been about putting the country I love...
The country I love.
...first. That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
I don't want to see you go, but boy, you had better go now. Go now, go now, go now. Don't you even try.
Welcome to the Sunday live stream. Hope you're well, comrades. Thank you for joining us this evening as we round off the week's events from a left-wing point of view. Hope you're having a good one. Idiosyncrasy was first in the chat, and also celebrating 18 months of membership. That's a very good way to kick off the stream this evening. Doc Davies with us as well. Oramai8. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Solidarity to you all. Another ram-packed stream. I'll be going through most of what's coming up this evening in Keith's Fondue Lounge in but a few moments. We'll just very briefly warm up here. Do hit thumbs up as you join us on stream. There's also a poll. It's a very simple one, just gathering some viewer stats that we can put together with our YouTube analytics. Nothing wrong with the YouTube analytics, by the way. They're very comprehensive but just want to get your thoughts on this particular stream. Not thoughts, indeed. We want to find out how you watch us on My Left Eye, specifically live streams. So PC or laptop, TV, phone or tablets, please do vote in the poll. Most of you on PC or laptop at the moment. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. It's a non-opinion piece, Paula, I guess. Bit of a rare one.
Socialists. Oh my god.
We'll catch up with the poll as we get through the stream, and that'll be up throughout the entirety of the Sunday live stream. Could be quite a marathon, actually. Not going into the wee small hours or anything. It depends. How much analysis I have to give. Hope it's gone a bit cooler where you are. Since I was last with you on stream as well, that would have been on Wednesday. Do check out that last stream. The PMQs and Keith's catchphrases stream if you've not seen that one already, as well as our most recent video. Please do check that out and send us some hype points if you do watch on a mobile or tablet. That'd be amazing. Other amazing ways to support the channel are with memberships. As I said, Idiosyncrasy. Awesome to see you celebrating 18 months of membership. As well as everybody who you can see on screen as well. We're up to 150 now, getting back towards the 200 and 250 goal, the ultimate goal at the moment. Thank you very much for all of your recent contributions with gifted memberships, as well as renewing your own. Very important. I'll also remind you, Super Chat is open if you're watching live, as well as super stickers. If you're catching up later on, there's also super thanks, as well as the Buy Me a Coffee page. You'll find the link for that in the description of any content on the channel. Don't forget, once again, if you are watching on a mobile device, currently 25% of you are watching on a phone. Make that 33 now. Thank you very much for somebody who just voted there. 33% now watch on a phone, 11% on a tablet. If you would be so kind, you can do it right now. That would be fantastic. Open up another tab if you can. Open up a video, a non-stream video of ours, if you would please. Hit the thumbs up button and gift us some hype points, most preferably on that most recent video, the Labour Party so far so shit part 3. Yes, part 3 in the series. Very recently, the We Told You So's have been coming in thick and fast, not just where Andy Burnham's concerned, also with Keir Starmer. Even before this channel existed, I was calling him out for what he is, and have been doing so ever since this channel was created and we began live streaming, in fact. Tim Wilton just joining us in chat, nice to see you. Also very nice to see you throwing some solidarity for Palestine into the chat as well. We always like to see that. Yes, of course, Palestine will be coming up quite early, in fact, in this evening's stream. Stick around for as long as you can, please, people. That does also help give us a boost on the old algorithm, so you can literally help out the channel by doing nothing. How's about that? Just stay exactly as you are. And you hear coming back in there. In the background, Herbie Ranger and the Supersonics are background jazz quartet. Great to have them on board with the My Left Eye team. Myself, your humble host and video narrator. We've got the IT team of primates on standby this evening as well, just in case we have the odd technical difficulty, which I'm pleased to say have been on the wane of late, been in decline, as we iron out all these problems. We're pretty much there, apart from, well, obviously you can see in chat still your tag names as opposed to your normal usernames appearing. That's not just been appearing here, that happens when I watch other live streams. Rather bizarre, rather bizarre. I have made inquiries, believe me. Yes, Tim. Nice. Very nice from Herbie Ranger and the Supersonics, helping us chill out on a mostly chill Sunday stream. Nice to relax. Although it wouldn't be uncommon that certain politicians and mainstream presenters do raise our blood levels or blood pressure. Great. We'll get into the lounge then. This will be the next of not too many more Fondue parties to come, now that Starmer's going to be out think as early as July, and we're almost in July now. We'll see what happens. Have to make the most of what we've got. Of course, as I mentioned last time, a lot of our content revolves around Keir Starmer, including the Fondue Lounge. We have Keith's catchphrases, an abundance of inserts. So, as I said on Wednesday, I'm going to have to redo a lot of the inserts. If you don't mind, yeah, might have said that in bed once or twice. Ba-bum. So into the lounge while we can. I suppose you'll just have to enjoy the fondue before the party's over. Yes, and it will almost be a shame, of course, to lose one of the channel, if not YouTube and the entire internet's most popular earworms. This scene coming courtesy of the marvellous agitator that agitates for change. Definitely worth a follow on social media. And it's, I believe, been the longest running feature on live streams, the Fondue Lounge. Yeah. Not for too much longer. Okay, so what's coming up? Of course, we've got the Lucy Powell interview on Laura Kussenberg. Not the full show, as always. Highly recommend checking out No Justice and Kevin Logan in conversation, normally throughout the majority of the Laura Kussenberg show, hosted this week by Victoria Derbyshire, actually, turns out, standing in for Laura. But there's a good chance we might be raiding into No Justice or Kevin Logan at the end of the stream. If you want a full analysis, we'll just be focusing on the Powell interview, and it will come with one of the final games of Postman Twats as well. That's another feature that's going to be on the way out when Keith goes. So a game of Postman Twat, just to see how many times the word deliver appears. Long-term viewers will know what time babbling on about with that. Of course, the stream itself will be bookended by a couple of comedy clips or so to help keep our spirits high, one of those will actually include Count Binface, one of the candidates in the recent Makerfield by-election, of course. You're all familiar with the novelty candidate, Count Binface. He's been appearing on Australian media recently. Yes, his antics have reached the other side of the world, it appears. We're going to be taking a look at that. Also, Zack Polanski's Bold Politics. We're examining how within curriculum in British secondary schools there is certainly a lack of mention in history with the antics of the British Empire, which is something that you normally don't find out about until further education. That sort of thing. We'll be taking a bit of a look at that conversation, as well as some interesting by-election results following the Makerfield by-election, which I mentioned recently. Now that it's all over for Keith, who you can see on screen here, serving up the fondue with Scandalson, the idol of Tony Blair, behind him, and Dame Margaret Hodge to the left. Since Ian announced his resignation, he's decided to make a public appearance, which was perhaps as awkward as expected, or you might expect it to be. We'll be having a bit of a look at that one. Plus, quite a few other bits and pieces actually in what will be a ram-packed stream. So thank you very much for now, Keith. We'll be back for more fondue later on. Must get cracking though. Must get started.
On with it. Yes, get on with it.
Get on with it!
We are getting on to it. First of all, before we get into other matters, just have to begin with something a little somber, if you'll forgive me, please, people. We had a bit of bad news recently here on the channel, pertaining to one of your fellow viewers. In fact, we heard a couple of days ago the tragic news on social media of the death of Cosmic Cowboy, Ronnie, aka the Cosmic Cowboy. His wife Jennifer made a post on his account, actually, on Twitter, which is where we saw it. He was a viewer of this channel, did often join in chat as well. One of our friends from across the States. It was amazing to have connected with him and got his thoughts on everything that's happening in the world, as it always is from viewers overseas. So our deepest sympathies to Cosmic Cowboy, his wife Jennifer, and of course the family will of course encourage you to respect their privacy at what is obviously a difficult time for them, but do send your best thoughts and wishes via social media. I think you'll be able to do that on Cosmic Cowboy's Twitter account, which is still active, as well as his Blue Sky. That's how we used to connect, as well as here on live stream. So this is obviously terrible news. I do have the original post here somewhere. Just a moment. Sorry, it isn't where I thought it was. Just very quickly re-upload this. Sorry, resize. So we're uncertain of how Ronnie Cosmic Cowboy passed away, of course. We'll wait to hear if there are more announcements from the family. but of course we won't pry, and as I said, we'll respect their privacy and mourning at this time. But she does add that Twitter was a great joy for him, and he loved all of the friends he made there. The family is still in shock. They'll miss him so much. And she says, thank you all for connecting with him. Well, you're very welcome, Jennifer. It was a pleasure to have known him, a pleasure to have connected with Ronnie, with Cosmic Cowboy as we knew him. So what we'll do now, people, I'll just hold this back up. We'll just very solemnly, if we can, please hold a minute's silence on stream for the Cosmic Cowboy. Obviously, some messages might appear in chat. I understand not everybody is watching in real time. Don't worry, I'm not going to have a go at people for that. But if we could, just because I know that some of the viewers in chat at the moment will have connected with Ronnie as well, if we can all just remember him for a minute, and of course remember what a pleasure it was to have connected with the Cosmic Cowboy. Thank you very much, people. Thank you very much, people. Yeah, he was also a great lover of nature as well, and cared for cacti, I believe, over in the desert in the States. As you can see behind him in this caricature, we'll be making another tribute to the Cosmic Cowboy at the end of the stream as well. So do please stick around for that. People, apologies for getting slightly emotional there, but yeah, it's been a pretty big shock. Of course. Thank you very much for that solemn minute's silence. And I'm sure that Ronnie wouldn't mind this swift change of mood as we go into the comedy clip, which I am 100% certain that I know he would approve of, given the context. It's somebody we've not featured on My Left Eye before. It's always good to have a debutante on. Don't know if you're familiar with them, but I just have to add a brief explanation before I play the clip from MC Hammersmith. You can see the play on words there. MC Hammersmith, who's a British rap artist, but doesn't come across or look like your atypical rap artist. Looks somewhat ordinary, if not leaning towards a bit nerdy. Of course, for those of you who don't know, Hammersmith being a region of London here in the UK, obviously a play on the 90s artist MC Hammer. But that matter aside, he does look pretty unassuming. However, he plays through an auto-tune processor, essentially, as well as a beatbox. So that's how he performs his comedy improv rap. So this is improvised. The way he goes about it, he would select audience members, get some information from them, ask a few questions, of course, and then proceed to improvise a rap after he's asked them, a couple of questions about themselves. And he's really good. I've not seen him before, and it's an absolute pleasure to share this one with you. I'm sure you're going to like it, especially considering what happens, because he just happens to pick out 2 random audience members, as I said, in this particular case, and they just happen to be Zionist Israelis. So you're really going to enjoy this, people, because there's some sick rhymes and takedowns and sick burns coming up in this one from MC Hammersmith. There's a link in the description. I highly recommend you go and subscribe and check out some other content. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, this is very good indeed.
I think we'll watch it again.
We might even watch it twice.
What's your name? I see, classic name. What do you do for a living? I see, retired. Fuck yeah, that's awesome. What do you used to do? You had an online farmer business. Classic. Is this your partner, Atty? Your sister? Hello, sister. What's your name? Addy. Addy and Assy. Classic names. What do you do, mate? You're an accountant. Fuck yes. Where are you guys from? Tel Aviv, Israel. You're Israeli. What's your favorite genocide? What are we talking? We're talking Armenian, Bosnian, Cambodian, Rwandan, or the one your government's committing. What's your favorite one?
Yes.
That one. Now, we are being quite harsh, because we don't know, just because they are Israeli and xenophobic, we don't know if they support the Israeli government, so we'll give them benefit of the doubt. Actually, no, fuck it, I'm going to ask one. Do you guys support the Israeli government? Yes. He's nodding. Seriously. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I spit it frankly. People in the place is fucking assy. Don't you understand? I'm sparking this. This guy used to be an online pharmacist, and that's what I mean. I'm oh so cool. When I'm on the beats, microphones I do roll. When I'm on the track, I pull rhymes from the ether. This guy used to be a fucking drug dealer. Yes, man, yes, indeed. Just dishing out that online weed. That's what I mean. I say it weekly, and your name is his name with a fucking D. Word to Addy, yes, astounding. This legend here is a fucking accountant. At accountancy, you are skilled. You can use it to count the babies Netanyahu's killed. You can count them. I believe about 20,000. They are applauding. That looks bad. Take it off the top with the freestyle raps. 100,000 Gazans killed, or Palestinians right there. So ill, I don't agree with it. Here on this rhyme, fuck Israel and free Palestine. Yeah, here we go.
Yes.
Here we go. Sitting in the front row. He's doing it. You can call that a two-state solution. Yeah, here we go. Make some noise.
Fantastic.
Well, the atmosphere is really awkward.
Oh, we always like a good pun. Here on My Left Eye, that was fantastic from MC Hammersmith. Oh, God, great rap. Should we see that again?
I think we'll watch it again.
From the rap, which was about here. Let's hear that one again, people. Oh, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yes, I spit it frankly. People in the place is fucking assy. Don't you understand? I'm sparking this. This guy used to be an online pharmacist, and that's what I mean. I'm oh so cool. When I'm on the beats, microphones I do roll. When I'm on the track, I pull rhymes from the ether. This guy used to be a fucking drug dealer. Yes, man, yes, indeed. Just dishing out that online weed. That's what I mean. I say it weekly, and your name is his name with a fucking D. Word to Addy, yes, astounding. This legend here is a fucking accountant. At accountancy, you are skilled. You can use it to count the babies Netanyahu's killed. You can count them. I I believe about 20,000. They are applauding, that looks bad. Take it off the top with the freestyle raps. 100,000 Gazans killed, or Palestinians right there so ill. I don't agree with it here on this rhyme. Fuck Israel and free Palestine. Yeah, here we go, yeah, here we go. Let's
Testify.
in the front row. He's doing it. You can call that a two-state solution. Yeah, here we go. Make some noise. Well, the atmosphere is really awkward.
Good. MC Hammersmith, take a fucking bow there. Awesome stuff. Link in the description. Go and subscribe. Go and subscribe. I don't normally like the auto-tune vocals, to be honest, but I'll give that man a pass, absolutely, for that improvised diss. Awesome stuff. Don't worry, boys, you're still good as well, Herbie and the gang. We're not going full rap on Sundays, we're still gonna stick with this. Don't worry, don't worry. Your contract's secure. Do they have a contract? I don't know. No. The shouty bloke quietly announcing your arrival, as always. No, great to see you, brother. And Graham Turner as well in the chat. Great recommendation there as well. Double Down News. I will check that stream out. Actually, I've not seen any of that yet myself, but great alternative media, Double Down News. Of course, George Monbiot et al. Matt Kenyard. Really great content. I'm sure you've all heard of Double Down News. Very surprised if not. So there will be more comedy to come. That is external comedy, not in-stream comedy, of course. Quality items, that sort of thing. First off, Lucy Powell's appearance on Laura Kussenberg. Not with Laura Kussenberg, though, as I said earlier. Victoria Derbyshire filling in this time. A lot of people find her somewhat preferable. So we'll see how Lucy Powell gets on in this one, as I said earlier. We might be raiding into No Justice and or Kevin Logan later. They normally do a more in-depth analysis of the full show on their Sunday streams. So there is that, and of course highly recommend those two channels as well. Quality indeed.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Thanks, Herbie. We'll get on to the next item. We've, as I said, got a game of Postman Twats coming up as we watch as well. We'll be counting the number of times the word deliver appears. So no spoilers in chat if you've already seen this and just happen to count the number of times that happens. You never know. No football spoilers in chat, please, as well. I should have mentioned that earlier. I might be posting in chat myself while this is on, as a reminder. We want this to be a spoiler-free space for folks. So yes, where was I? We're unable to bring you the Postman Twats introduction, unfortunately, for reasons. We are possibly working on a solution, although we're mostly working out if it'll actually be worth it, given the short amount of time that Keith has left. But we'll see. So it's going to be A slight change to the opening meme as well, with Victoria Derbyshire in for Kussenberg. She does do politics, even though she's preferable to Laura Kussenberg's weekly dribble. She's still beholden to the bias and list of banned words inherent in BBC reporting. Lest we forget. There he is. Postman Swats. You'll, of course, see him appear every time he's mentioned, as well as hear this noise. Very simple. We'll keep count of the number of times the word deliver comes up. So take it away, Victoria.
This time last week, you may remember that Peter Kyle, the business secretary, was telling Laura the Prime Minister was reflecting on the political realities. 24 hours later, those realities...
Andy Carter, Jacqueline, Guitar Guy, Big Jerry, nice to see you all in the chat as well. Solidarity.
I will resign as leader of the Labour Party. I shall spend more time on the most important job, being the best husband I can to my fantastic wife.
Oh, I've got human emotions now. All of a sudden, when it's about me, I've got human emotions.
Who has been a rock by my side through good times and bad.
Andy Burnham has just posted on X that he is up for it.
Confirm that I will put myself forward in the process that will soon be underway.
Mr. Burnham, are you ready for the top job? Are you ready?
Just wanted to ask him if he had a plan.
Listen to the heckle. He's not the Messiah, someone shouts.
We can still win. I think Andy is the person to lead us to do that.
I hear he's extremely liberal. Extremely.
It's not in the American sense. That's for certain. Perhaps in the British sense, yeah, meaning he's on the right. And now, of course, all the rats are jumping ship. Everyone who stood, air quotes, firmly behind Keir Starmer, now equally firmly behind Andy Burnham, West Streeting, the whole rotten lot of them.
Cheering so loudly while their 400 knives stuck in his back. Shame on them. They don't like it up them, but they know that what I'm saying is true. What for? A pair of eyelashes and a black t-shirt.
As we debate issues robustly in this House, that we are all human, and it's something that everyone should remember.
It's dark blue, actually.
So what next? Officially, there could...
Oh, that's what the eyelash and black t-shirt thing was about at PMQs. We never did get to the bottom of that. She was referring to Andy Burnham. Okay. Sure if that was quite the witty quip that she thought it was. Let's get on with it, Derbyshire.
Still be a leadership contest, but it's looking less and less likely another candidate will stand. And if no one does, Andy Burnham will become Labour leader on Friday the 17th of July before moving into Downing Street on Monday the 20th, just 3 weeks away. Let's talk to Lucy Powell, Labour's deputy leader. She's known Andy Burnham for 30 years and she's live in Manchester now. Good morning to you, Lucy Powell.
Good morning.
So Keir Starmer led you to a landslide victory 2 years ago. What do you say to people who might have voted Labour but didn't vote for this?
They did. They did.
Well, look, I think I want to take this opportunity to pay tribute to Keir. He has served us as Labour leader for over 6 years, and in that time really turned things around for us as a party, made us electable again, won that huge...
You were electable in 2017, you were electable in 2019, you just chose to act against your own party to stop the natural progression of the Labour Party under Jeremy Corbyn for your own preferred neoliberal brand of Blairite Labour. Of course, that's what happened. As I'm going to demonstrate later, of course, they won fewer votes than Jeremy Corbyn did. And for what? What was the point in holding the country back for essentially a decade in aid of? This is where we've ended up, exactly where we said we would, with Keith getting us nowhere and more of the same. And now it's going to be Starmer version 2.0 with Burnham, and they all know it. Do you think Josh Simons would have stood down for a socialist? I don't think so for 1 second.
Huge victory in the general election just 2 years ago, and I think particularly in the last 2 years as Prime Minister has really reset our standing and our relations around the world. And
He only got in because of the level of unpopularity for the Tory party. That was it.
we're now seen as a leading player on that global stage in a way that we weren't before.
So
and
why are you getting rid of him in that?
Testimony to him. Well, look, I mean, I think it's not me getting rid of him, but I want to focus really on the positive contributions that he has made. But as he said himself on the steps of Downing Street on Monday, you know, we're here in the middle of the World Cup, aren't we? You know, when the manager loses the dressing room, you know, the manager often takes the decision that that's the time for them to go, and I think that's the decision that he has made. But he has served our party well, and we do owe him a great deal of gratitude.
Okay.
And now it's time for us to move on to a new phase, and that's what we'll be doing.
You probably, bought themselves maybe 6 months or so of a slight improvement in the polls. At best, it won't take very long at all before people realise that it's, sane begins now, not change begins now, with Andy Burnham. Idiosyncrasy, thank you very much for that gifted membership. Much appreciated. Let's update the target to 151 now, and give a big shout out to Idiosyncrasy in the chat, please, everybody. 151. Solidarity. Yeah, everybody loves a good clumsy football analogy, don't they, Andy? Where politics is concerned. We'll see how the next manager handles this dressing room then, in this case.
Okay. He wasn't given much choice in the end, a lot of people would say. Let's look at the direction the country might go in then if Andy Burnham does become our next Prime Minister. He's giving a speech tomorrow on the economy. What do you think his #1 priority will be, or should be?
Blairism.
Well, look, I mean, I'm speaking really as the deputy leader and as somebody who's lived and worked.
But you can't be the deputy leader, Lucy Powell, because we did deputy PMQs just the other week, and it was David Lammy who insists that he's the deputy leader. So we want to have faith in a party that can't make its mind up who its second in line is at this point, which you might think would be considerably important when we have an outgoing Prime Minister as well as an upcoming leadership challenge. Who is it?
Worked alongside Andy Burnham for a long time here in Greater Manchester, and I've shared a lot of the same frustrations that he has shared in the lost opportunity that could have come were more powers and resources spread out around the country and given to local areas to determine for themselves. And I think he's got a really strong agenda about changing that, something that actually was in our manifesto, but we've really not realised in the scale and the speed of which we should have done that.
Look, this Manchesterism is a bit of a myth. It's not a phrase that we use around here, that's for sure. He's done some positive things with transport, that's for certain, but we don't have anywhere near the levels of devolved councils that Andy Burnham can take and try to imply in other areas of the country. That's just something of a myth. And again, if there is going to be this funding, then where's it going to come from? Because so far, all we've heard from Burnham is that he'd approve welfare cuts in order to fund defence. Where the funding for this devolved level of local governance is concerned, we haven't heard a murmur. I don't know. And just very quickly, while I'm on that matter, all he's spoken about since he won the by-election is his ambitions that if he wins the leadership election and comes in to government. He said barely a word about Makerfield itself, and that's what we came to expect It is, in fact, very telling. You can expect more of the same for that if you happen to be watching near Wigan and voted for Andy Burnham. Unfortunately, there are more We Told You So's to come in the near future.
Manchester, Greater Manchester is the fastest growing region in the country by some distance. But if we had more control over things like skills and local transportation, we could better connect people to all those new job opportunities of the future, and we could go much further and faster with that. So I think Andy wants that, to see that right round the country, communities in every part of Britain being able to seize their own agenda, to seize power for themselves in order to transform their communities. And I think that's a very powerful agenda, actually.
Is it weird to you that the country doesn't know how he would deal with some of the really big issues, like funding defence properly, or dealing with President Trump, or how to bring down welfare spending, and he could be Prime Minister in 3 weeks?
Well, I think he has given some indications of that. But look, what we are seeing here is parliamentary democracy. We are a parliamentary democracy. We're each individually elected by our own constituents.
Sorry, I was dealing with the chat there for a second. Have I missed any delivers since we began? No, I think I would have noticed. It's Pavlovian at this point, to be honest.
With a mandate, and the Prime Minister is the first among equals, aren't they? That's always been the case. And I think we've seen one of the reasons that Andy is so well known and he's so popular and well liked is because he has built up over a long period of time a sense of clear purpose and a sense of whose side he is on. People, not just in my part of the world in Greater Manchester, but actually right across the country, know what Andy actually is about. And I think that is something...
Jesus Christ, this is so fucking... Yeah, they know what he's about, they know what clear direction and all. It's just so empty. So empty. It's like being stuck in the worst boardroom in the universe, hearing this series of words that are so far removed from the way normal people speak, which is the main thing that irks me. Just get to the fucking point and tell us what he's about.
That's been missing in politics a bit in recent...
Even the fucking Tories could do that with fucking 3-word sentences to plumb into people's brains non-stop. And you can't even give us that, you know. It happened a lot during COVID as well, with those 3-word examples. Labour used them as well. No, but Andy Burnham doesn't even have them. Just, what's he about?
Recent years, and something that he will bring to the table, and that's why he won so resoundingly in Makerfield just recently. People did feel that he was one of them, that he was going to go out there and really bat hard for people living in Makerfield and other communities like that. And I think that's what we want to see in our leaders.
It's been the most effortless win in a by-election, safe of anywhere, considered a safe seat for any party or whatnot, but the fact that he's just gone around and gone, yeah, well, I'm going to win and I'm going to change things, and with me slightly mixed Mancunian and Liverpool accent that I've got, and so far I've not really said anything about what I'm going to do here in Makerfield. I'm just focusing on being the Prime Minister, but I do agree that we should be taking money out of welfare and giving it to, defence, because I did vote for the Iraq War myself, and I did vote against the inquiry for the Iraq War myself. That's something I'm particularly proud of. Yeah, that's all you're going to hear. Sorry, that's the first time I've ever done an improvised Andy Burnham impression on stream. Marks out of 10, please. But if you want it binned, let me know as well. Crack on, Powell.
One of the key decisions the next Prime Minister will make is who they want as their Chancellor. You've worked very closely with Ed Miliband. Obviously, a Prime Minister will make their own decision, I understand that. But do you think he would make a good Chancellor?
Well, I mean, yes, I do actually, but actually I think this is
not bad. Thanks,
slightly
Idio.
distracting conversation, because I think we've all got a really important job to do. Every single member of the Parliamentary Labour Party and our wider movement, our General Secretaries of our trade unions, we've got Joanne there in the studio with you today, and Labour Party members. We've all got a really important job to play here
but it
now
does
in
sound
turning
that you...
things around for the Labour Party, but also, and most importantly, for the country as a whole. And
but it sounds like you...
See, it's just... Derbyshire seems to be getting a bit sick of it as well, with just the same merry-go-round that we heard about Starmer before he got in, exactly the same. It's just like they've reopened the old archived files from back in 2020 and cut and paste them over and just replaced Starmer's name with Burnham. Off they go. Wheel them out in front of the masses on Sunday morning TV.
Backhead Miliband speculation about what... Well, look, I don't really want to get into jobs about ourselves. I just think that is a really distracting conversation. This is not about my job or anybody else's job. This is about creating jobs in every part of the country and making sure that people have got opportunity, hope, well-paid, decent...
What kind of... Because you can, you know, knock up a sweatshop pretty quickly. What kind of job, working in what kind of industry, with what sort of intentions, what sort of consequences, what sort of pay are your people in these jobs going to get? What are the rights going to be? So on and so forth. Completely. Just the word jobs, throw the word jobs at it. You know, a lot of people on this planet are employed to do some pretty awful things. I certainly don't forgive any of it for the fact that they do receive a pay packet for their deeds, whatever it might be, but just throwing the word jobs around doesn't satisfy me. That's for sure.
Decent work, they've got a home they can afford to live in, and they've got a little bit extra to do the nice things in life. That's the jobs.
How many of these, you're halfway through your term pretty much, and out of the amount of houses that you promised the British public, you've not even got a fifth of the way there so far, and these are mostly in the, of course, private sector, not public housing, not social housing. It's extraordinarily poor indeed.
I'm bothered about, and I think all this sort of tittle-tattle about who's getting which job, I really just think is quite unedifying, quite honestly.
Right. It is a really important role, though, because it will give us a clue as to the direction of a putative Andy Burnham government. I want to ask you about something that you put on Facebook when Liz Truss resigned. Conservative Prime Minister resigned on the 20th of October 2022 after 49 days in office. You posted, "Let the public decide the next Prime Minister, general election now." Do you want a general election now so the public can decide their next Prime Minister?
That's what it says
I think we were
right
in
there.
very particular times after Liz Truss had crashed the economy, making big decisions that had nothing to do with what was in the Conservative manifesto, and we were all paying the price for that almost instantly in higher mortgage rates and all of that.
Just asked you if you want an election now. That's a pretty simple question to answer.
The principle is the same, isn't it?
Well,
the principle is the same. Let the public decide on the next Prime Minister, you wrote. So that situation could apply to now. Do you want the public to decide on the next Prime Minister now?
Of course they don't, because they know they'd absolutely lose, unfortunately, to reform.
Well, we live in a parliamentary democracy where the Prime Minister is chosen by MPs. That is the situation that we're in now.
You didn't say that in October 2022.
What we had then was two Prime Ministers in less than 2 months, one of whom came along and didn't listen to anybody around her. The big institutions that support this country took some big decisions for which every single one of us paid a very, very heavy price, in inflation going through the roof and our mortgage rates going through the roof after a real period of huge disruption.
So you don't think there should be a general election now?
Different time.
Is that not hypocritical?
No, I don't think it is, because I think what people actually want to see now is us getting on with the job, delivering on the manifesto that we were elected on only 2 years ago. A very bold and radical manifesto that's still got many things in it that we need to follow through.
Didn't take too long.
I'm sure you'll talk about some of those later with Joanne and others in terms of...
All it took was just Lucy Powell getting back slightly, just ever so slightly into a corner for that to come out. So that's one.
Giving people secure, decent, well-paid job with the hours that they can live off, for example, something that Joanne's very keen that we enact. We've got that manifesto we've got to deliver on, and people want us to get on with the job, deliver the change that they want to see. And
that's three.
You know, Andy, look, he's not the leader yet, but Andy's agenda about really getting that lifeblood back into every single community across this country so that people can be proud of the area that they live in, they can get a decent, well-paid job nearby where they live, and they can have hope and opportunity for their young people in their family. That is not a lot to ask of any government, and that is something we've got to start to deliver.
You just talked about the speculation around the Chancellor's job, for example, as being unedifying. I mean, you will have read, like we all have, the anonymous briefings from newspapers and political magazines trashing certain Labour cabinet ministers and jockeying for position. Last year, when I interviewed you on Newsnight, you told me these sort of anonymous briefings from blokes is a culture that was disgraceful and which you wanted to end as deputy leader. It clearly hasn't ended. What do you think about what you're reading each day?
Well, we really do need to change that culture, absolutely. I think I've made a little bit of progress in that as deputy leader over the last few months, but that's something I'm very keen that we really tackle and change. And I know it's the one thing that I have discussed with Andy in recent days and weeks, that he also is very keen on changing that culture. And that's about valuing, respecting and hearing and acting on all the views of all of our colleagues. It's about building and creating a team where people are not appointed because they're part of a political faction or because they're part of a friendship group, but on meritocracy, because of their experience, their passion, their commitment.
You're not going to get that from the set of shits you've got to choose from in the Labour Party at the moment. One audience member on Question Time on Friday, as it actually was, instead of its usual Thursday evening slot, asked why nobody else out of all of, 400 Labour MPs, and not one of them wanting to step up against Andy Burnham as though, is some sort of indefeatable or undefeatable superhero. I've hypothesised that perhaps Angela Rayner could be one of the only people to succeed should she decide to run against Andy Burnham. But it just goes to show the absolute lack of quality in the Labour Party at the moment, that out of 400 MPs, they don't have anybody that would be good enough, popular enough, have the right kind of ideas to be able to take on Andy Burnham, who, again, is only displaying that he's going to provide more of the same that we got with Starmer. It's an absolutely terrible situation for the Labour Party, a zombie party.
And we've got to turn that around. That's going to be a big task for all of us, and one that I take very seriously as deputy leader. And I think we can do, but that is a new way of doing politics. And that's something, actually, I think, if we're talking about Andy has learnt from here in Greater Manchester, where he is actually the first among equals of the 10 leaders of local authorities. You have to work as a team across the whole area.
So can I ask you
that he wants to build that kind of team in government?
If I may, then, that the public spat we've seen this week with the Immigration Minister Mike Tapp and his boss, Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood.
He does not have the ingredient. There are no ingredients there to create a quality cabinet. Pick them by random. They are all self-focused careerists. It's so evident from the way that they're all turning their backs on Starmer now and starting to kiss Andy Burnham's shoes. Emily Thornberry was on TV doing that just the other day. The loyalty of these people and dedication means absolutely nothing whatsoever, they're very happy to quickly turn on someone that they said that they absolutely 100% have confidence in. So we can't take them on the word where that's concerned. But they just don't have anything there. It's, you know, you can't build a castle on sands. It's you know, simple as that. There's what you're going to do. There's no combination of people you can put into the cabinet. And again, out of 400 people, that's very, very poor situation as a party. He's just going to be rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic yet again.
Is that the kind of thing you're talking about? Do you think this kind of thing's getting worse?
Yeah, we do. Look, people, when they're ministers, you know, which is a huge honour and a privilege, when people are ministers, they are bound by ministerial responsibility, and we have to take that seriously. So, look, we have to create a culture where people are allowed to have differing views, where people are allowed to share those views and debate them.
You've spent the last 6 years removing such people from your party. You have expelled people for being members of subgroups within Labour, or even just for sharing tweets by those subgroups. That's what happened to some members. You've been dedicated to that for the last 6 years, and this is what you have gone on to the media. And again, even in this very interview, and it was mentioned in Keir Starmer's speech that you've, air quotes, turned the party around. This is how you describe it, the undermining of those people who had different ideas from the leader, because it was a top-down, authoritarian-run party from the very moment that Keir Starmer got in. You've made this bed, so now you can fucking lie in it.
And particularly, you know, in private and behind closed doors, they're not punished for that. They don't have the wit removed from them for speaking out or for taking a different position on something. But also, you do have to have collective responsibility, and that means when decisions are taken, we have to all go out and sell those decisions. And that is a new culture to bring about. And we do have a media in this country that is obsessed with difference all the time, and so therefore we all collectively have a responsibility as a team to work together, to respect one another, respect those boundaries, but also respect difference and respect differing views.
I was going to ask you about the...
That was the biggest load of crap I've ever heard.
Precedent in Labour of the deputy leader of the party becoming deputy prime minister, but you've already told me you don't like the speculation around jobs, so I'll bear that in mind. I'll ask you instead, finally, Lucy Powell, because the Conservatives have had 3 women leaders and prime ministers. Are you disappointed that it appears another man is going to be leading your party?
It's a bit of a reaching point, but you do have to say that is correct. Personally, I don't care what's between a politician's legs. It's the politicians that matter, and obviously Prime Minister comes into that. But yeah, the Conservatives had the first female Prime Minister almost 50 years ago. Well, Thatcher became the leader 50 years ago. And in such time since, they've had 3 female Prime Ministers, one ever so briefly, of course, aforementioned Liz Truss. Labour haven't even had a female leader, yet are expected to be the more progressive out of the 2 parties. But if that has been because of policy, of course, like I said, it's policy that matters, not gender. That's certainly been lacking. So you can't say that there haven't been any female leaders because any female who would have liked to have been leader didn't have good or progressive enough policies. You can swing this right the way back to the cronyism within the Tony Blair era. I guess that's something that Starmer's wanted to continue as well.
Well, look, I mean, actually, what I'll also say is I was working out this morning. I joined the Labour Party in the 1980s. And actually, in that time, we've only, since Neil Kinnock, we've only had 6 leaders of the Labour Party. So
Neil Kinnock, who's what, now in the House of Lords. Don't get me started on him or his bloody son either.
we do generally keep leaders for quite a few years in the Labour Party. Of course, I'd like to see a woman leader at some stage, but this is a difficult job that brings a huge amount.
At some stage, what, in the 21st century, in the 22nd century, just in your lifetime, I don't know. When could that be?
Of exposure to your.
Well, anyway, no, I was going to make a very obscure, random point there. I'm not going to get into it.
To yourself, to your family, you know, it really is a relentless job, and I'm just glad that actually someone does want to do it, and I'm pleased that actually what it looks like is that we're probably going to have just the one candidate in Andy Burnham, and how refreshing that would be that the whole Labour Party is agreed.
Could have more democracy in the party. And then just weeks ago he was mayor, and now he's your prime minister. The end. Signed democracy. After all the crap that she's just put on the table. And again, out of 400 MPs, no one fancies a stab at it. They, you know, just roll the dice. Come on, at least just to, as a paper candidate. Will no one step up, or is Angela Rayner possibly leaving it until the very, 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 very last moment? Or she has previously, of course, hinted at backing Burnham herself. Who knows? Stan Beckett, nice to see you in chat. Solidarity, thanks for joining us.
On the new leader, we don't have to go through a contest that could be damaging at this point in time, and now we've all got to get behind that leader and stop the kind of infighting and chitter chatter from the background.
Thank you very much. Clear signal you don't want to contest. Thank you, Lucy.
Oh, sorry. Just going to skip back into that answer. I think I missed a appearance from Postman Twat. Just a little further, I think.
Views.
I was going to ask you about the precedent in Labour of the deputy leader of the party becoming deputy prime minister, but you've already told me you don't like.
Since Neil Kinnock, we've only had 6 leaders of the Labour Party. So we do generally keep leaders for quite a few years in the Labour Party. Of course, I'd like to see a woman leader at some stage, but this is a difficult job that brings a huge amount of exposure to yourself, to your family. You know, it really is a relentless job, and I'm just glad that actually someone does want to do it, and I'm pleased that actually what it looks like is that we're probably going to have just the one candidate in Andy Burnham, and how refreshing that would be that the whole Labour Party is agreed on the new leader. We don't have to go through a contest that could be damaging at this point in time, and now we've all got to get behind that leader and stop the kind of infighting and chitter chatter from the background.
All right. Sorry,
Thank
I thought
you very
I missed
much.
one.
Clear signal you don't want to contest. Thank you, Lucy Powell, deputy leader of Labour and ally of Andy Burnham. Thank you very much.
Well, it appears that they're all allies of Andy Burnham if none of them are prepared to stand against him. Victoria. So 4 mentions of Postman Twat there, and Victoria Derbyshire's interview with Lucy Powell standing in. Laura Kussenberg. I think Laura's going to be back next week. So 4 mentions there. Doesn't affect the catchphrase league. That's a separate thing. Just a bit of a mini game, just for fun. Herbie. Very low on quality there from Lucy Powell.
Very poor indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
And nice to see a lot of faces join us in chat as we went through that interview. Please do hit thumbs up, as well as fill out the poll if you've just recently joined us. Really quick one, just very interested to know how you prefer to watch My Left Eye's live streams. Is it on a PC or a laptop? Is it on television, a phone, or is it on a tablet? Let us know in the poll. Non-opinion, a rare non-opinion poll on this evening's stream. So far, most of you preferring to watch on a PC or laptop. Some interesting data for any My Left Eye nerds there as well. It's always good to keep up with the stats. We do have a few stats coming up here in a few moments as well. That will pertain to some of the things that Lucy Powell mentioned in that interview. Also got some by-election results to share with you as well. No spoilers where that's concerned. Speaking of no spoilers, you might have noticed earlier, no spoilers where live football matches are concerned in the chat, please, people. Feel free to, as I've seen a few of you doing already, speculate on which teams have a chance of winning or whatnot. That's all perfectly well and good. Just no spoilers for any matches that are live during stream. Want this to be a spoiler-free space. Thanks again, people. So, this, alright, here we go. For some reason, Starmer's taken it upon himself, now that he's going to be making his way out of the door, to make appearances in public, something he very, very rarely does, and it very, very rarely goes well. That's his reputation. But here he is at a cinema in Milton Keynes, which is in sort of the southeast Midlands of the country. And yeah, he's serving up popcorn for cinema goers. Well, what you're led to believe are legitimate cinema goers, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to play the clip through without interruption first, and then get into some analysis of this. So here's the Starmer bot and his excellent impression, or I don't know, interpretation, imitation maybe, of a human being in a service-based job.
Popcorn? Yeah. Right. Shall we serve some up? Yes. Right.
We've got a scoop in here for you.
Fantastic.
And then just behind you here, get some popcorn in that box.
As if I've been doing it for years. That's pretty good. Right, who wants the first one? Here we go. Look at that. Do you think that's enough in that? Or do you think you put more? Are you sure?
That's fine.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think?
We don't know yet.
You don't? Oh, you've got your fan. That's very sensitive. Now, luckily, we've got loads more of them. What do you watch? Here we go. What's your favourite film?
Mario.
Ah, yeah. Who else hasn't got one? Come forward. What's your favourite film? Is your man? Yeah, it is. That's provocative when you're being served by an Arsenal fan.
Right. What do we make of that, people? I'll go through this. First, we'll just start this.
Yeah.
So here he is at the cinema in Milton Keynes. It says in the banter with kids during cinema visit.
Right, should we serve some up?
So you'd like to believe that Keir Starmer's been in a cinema before, knows how cinemas operate, or at least the concession stands.
Right.
We've got a scoop in here for you.
Fantastic.
I was just about to start going at it with my hands. Yeah, but thanks for letting me know that there's a scoop there for getting the popcorn into the box. I've never been to a cinema before or observed that particular behaviour.
And just behind you here.
Walk like a human. Don't forget to walk like one of the humans. Excellent. Fantastic.
Popcorn in my box.
As if I've been doing it for years.
It's as if he's been doing it for years. He managed to get through the pedestrian task of scooping some popcorn into a tub. Incredible. Fantastic. This is going better than when I had to reverse that HGV.
Good. Right, who wants the first one?
Okay, Keith. Don't know if you know how cinemas work. Normally people come to the concession stand and they ask you for what they want. You don't just start make like popcorn. Okay, who wants a popcorn? And they all rush forward and whatnot. Would you do the same with soft drinks? Who knows? So who wants the first one?
Here we go. Look at that.
Here we go. The purchase is now in progress. Here we go. Stand by. No, they normally come up, they say, I want this size of popcorn. Might be different types, sweet or salted, butter, whatever.
That's enough in that?
Yeah.
No, just scoop one up, turn around. Does anybody want this one? And then he goes over to the drinks. I've just made a big 7-Up. Does anybody want it? What about these? Oh, what's over here? The hot dogs. No, they form a queue and ask for what they'd like, Keith.
Oh, are you sure?
That's fine.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think?
There's a lot. There's a lot in the tub.
We don't know yet.
You don't? Oh, you've got your fan. That's very sensible. Now,
He's got some sort of electric hand fan. Oh, that's very sensible. And
luckily,
yeah, is all of a sudden, and this happens every time you go to the cinema, I'm sure. We've got loads more because
more of them.
Wouldn't want to have to go through the really difficult challenge of having to scoop multiple tubs of popcorn. That'd be far beyond the Starmer box capabilities. He's only programmed to do it once.
What do you watch? Here we go. What's your favourite film?
Here we go. And these are all gratis, are they? Nobody's paying for these, I notice, or is that because you didn't want to put us through the utterly frustrating, if not painful, task of watching Keir Starmer try to operate an electronic point of sale machine?
Ah, yeah.
So instead, just have a bunch of pre-made tubs there. And luckily, oh, Keith the Magician making an appearance. Part cinema concession stand staff, part magician, Keith. Look what we have here.
Who else hasn't got one?
Who else? Just give them away. Come on.
What's your favourite film?
Come on, they're all free.
Opposite when you're being served by an Arsenal fan.
Something about Arsenal, because he's an ordinary person as well. Don't forget, I watch Arsenal. Yeah, what, from the private box that one of your party donors has facilitated usage of. Unbelievable. Keith does cinema. I bet that was really painful for the cinema stuff as well. I saw another clip where he asks one of them what they're watching. He could only bring himself to ask them what the favourite film was in those clips. He just didn't acknowledge it at all. I think one of them said Barbie. He said, "What's your favourite film?" Barbie. Right. On to the next thing. He did it a couple of times. Has he ever seen any films in his life? But in another clip, they asked the kid what film they're watching, and they said, "I don't know yet." Yeah, because I don't know about you people. I don't know if you've ever been to a cinema where you go to the concession stand and you purchase your popcorn or whatnot first, and then you go and buy your tickets. Don't think so. A lot of them do them at the same point, at the same place. Some of them are separate, but you certainly don't go and get the snacks and stuff first, and then, you know, what film are you watching? I don't know, because basically your public relations team haven't told me yet. They've given the game away, more or less, or we haven't decided what film we're pretending we're watching. It was just get some kids to get some popcorn from Starmer, make sure there's a shitload of photographers there. We'll get him to make sure that he does at least a decent representation of a human being, let alone a concession stand staff member. Wow. Wow. See? I'm just ordinary popcorn serving, Arsenal watching person. Just like you. Painful. Very painful. Is that his next career move? I hope not. If so, I would avoid cinemas in Milton Keynes. I'm not certain which chain of cinemas that one might have been. If you're from the Milton Keynes area, do let us know if that's familiar with you. Perhaps your child was subjected to that awful PR stunt. If so, I don't know. Ring social services. Jacqueline, yeah. Don't know what it was in aid of. I think it was just please try and forget all of the fuck-ups that Keith made and try and remember that he's a normal popcorn serving, Arsenal watching human being. If you asked him during an interview what his favourite film was, his head would probably explode. Oh, it's... oh, God. What's the one that's coming out next week? It'd be his answer. A lot of arse-kissing where Starmer's concerned from within Labour while he's on his way out, but not in its entirety. Here's Diane Abbott, who was never on good terms with Keir Starmer. Her assessment of his exits and his tenure as well in a recent interview on LBC. Well, this is a snippet of the interview, at least. But it's at least the first realistic and truthful accounting that we've heard since he announced he was resigning. Oh, sorry, apologies. Oh, God. Very poor transfer there. Apologies.
I think history will remember him as the man who
He wouldn't
smashed the
mind.
left.
As the man who smashed the left? Permanently?
Yeah.
The hammer of the left? You think so?
Yeah, I mean, he was brought in to smash the left and he was very successfully expelled, Jeremy. I'm suspended. And so many people were blocked from running in their constituencies because Morgan McSweeney saw them as too left-wing.
And that's what Lucy Powell really needed to realise during that interview as well, as I pointed out. That's why they lack the ingredients as well. I'm glad that Diane Abbott agrees with that point. Of course, we made mention of all of those parachuted in candidates so many times here on the channel. And, well, I can only summarise it as I did earlier. It's their bed. They've got a lie in it.
So, yeah, he was the hammer of the left. That's what he was brought in to do, and that's what he did.
He said it in his speech. Wants to be remembered for is the 2024 general election victory, one of the biggest Labour victories ever. And I suppose he would say, Morgan McSweeney would say, and other advocates of his would say, that the fact that he's hammer of the left and that general election victory fact are connected.
Yeah, but you've got to remember the reason he won so well in 2024 is the Tories' collapse. The Tory vote was shattered. Reform took a lot of their vote. I mean, and his vote, his actual vote, was not very much bigger, if not slightly smaller.
I think about a percentage point bigger than what Jeremy Corbyn got in 2029.
Yeah, so this idea that he got all these new Labour voters, that's not true.
Well put, Diane. Yeah, I wish he'd just get on with it and join another party, to be honest. Good stuff as ever, I should say, even from Diane Abbott. Graham, marvellous to see you celebrating 18 months of membership in the chat. Solidarity. Yeah, it's been awesome to have you as well. Nice to see you this evening too. And here are the numbers, in fact, that they were referring to. It shows how messed up our first past the post voting system is as well. When you look at this list of exact number of votes each Labour leader has received in successive elections, you can see very clearly there Corbyn on both occasions getting more votes than Starmer, also getting more votes than anybody since Tony Blair in 2001. So that's 25 years. Well, it is now. So there it is, plain and simple. And if any idiot troll dares to jump in to social media and proposes that Jeremy Corbyn had the worst election results ever in 2019, you can politely remind them that the merit, would you really call it that? No, the onus for that title goes to Gordon Brown, who lost 96 seats, was it? Or 91? I think it was 91 seats. And is the lowest scorer on the list, as you can see there. Democracy my ass. There have been a couple of other smaller by-elections since Starmer's resignation. However, they've not really had the bounce back that they hoped. In fact, we'll take a look at this one from Haringey first. This is Woodside in Haringey. The Green Party with a narrow gain from Labour there. Very strong in that London Council by-election, 43.3% to 41. Very much a two-horse race, as you can see there. The Greens gaining 6.1%. That's very impressive. A lot of people who have protested with and marched with in London actually come from Haringey, so I do know that there are a lot of environmentally minded people around there. That's a great result. Just about pipping them, but excuse me, pipping them to the win. Let's take a look at this one. In Goldsmith in Brighton, an even bigger margin there, and another gain from Labour for the Green Party. 49% of the votes, up 22.4. This is very atypical, where a lot of the local elections were concerned as well. That is double-digit gains for the Greens, double-digit losses for Labour. And of course, the appeal of reform very much lacking in Brighton, which of course also has Green MPs. Tories down another 4.6 as well in that one. So that's good news. I just wanted to quickly bring you those, so we'll try and keep our spirits high as well with this next item. This is Count Binface's appearance on Australian media. I'm sure that we'll all enjoy this as well. It's a first time watch for me where this one's concerned, so let's see how he got on round there. And indeed, good morning to anybody listening in Australia. We do have a few Australian viewers here on the channel. What do you make of Count Binface? Let us know in chat if you do happen to be watching live, or in the comments if you're watching back later on. Here he is. Did unfortunately lose his deposit in Makerfield. But that won't be the last we'll be seeing from the leader of the Recyclons. I can definitely tell you that one.
Andy Burnham has only just been elected to the British Parliament, beating, among others, Count Binface and a fox. It's an amazing election in the UK. The masked candidate is coming soon. So all eyes on Andy Burnham. He looks set to be the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And in a cheap seats exclusive, we are so excited to say, all the way from London, would you please welcome Count Binface!
Hello, good day, good evening, good morning, whatever time of day it is. It's a pleasure to be on the cheap seats.
It's a pleasure to have you with us, Your Excellency, Count Binface. Thank you for joining us. Now, for those who might not know, you're not from our planet, are you?
No, I mean, appearances can be deceptive. You might think I'm a local boy. Plenty of bins in your world, but no. No, that's quite right. And indeed, I'm not in London, just to correct you. I am, of course, back up in orbit on my starship, the Algoretto, on my way home to my home world of Sigma 9 in the Sigma Quadrant. It's a beautiful world, which we happen to not be destroying with climate change. It's lovely.
You were beaten by Andy Burnham by just a few thousand votes. Where did it all go wrong for you?
Ouch. I mean, I say, where did it all go right for me, mate? I mean, firstly, as you say, I was a mere 25,000 votes away from victory.
Exactly.
But I scored what I call a Dolly Parton, 95. That's a huge score for me. Love it. And
Yeah, we were hoping he'd get more votes than the Tory or the Lib Dem candidate, but unfortunately he didn't. We're pleased that he didn't sort of split the left vote. For Sarah Wakefield, either 95, not bad.
just one shy of a reverse 69.
Oh,
which is what I experienced with Boris Johnson in a previous election. And indeed, I was only 68 votes.
That's very crude. Very crude. Oh, we're past the watershed now. So fuck it. We say what we want. In fact, this isn't even the BBC.
Away from the Liberal Democrats, one of the so-called main parties in the UK,
Yes.
and I didn't even bother visiting the constituency.
Okay, how about that? We would love to know what you campaigned on. What were your policies?
Well, I mean, I hope that's a rhetorical
CFAX.
question and that you've done...
He's going to have to explain CFAX to Australians now. They might have had a similar system when it was still around. Perhaps some of our viewers might know if they did or what it was called. This is the sort of pre-internet information thing that you used to have to do it, the remote control, I think. And yeah, what just brought up basic sort of 2-bit texting information with a, I don't know, you went through, what, hundreds or thousands of pages of whatever it was for a TV guide or something.
But I'll let that slide. No, well, I'm for some very key policies like I will cut your taxes and raise everyone else's. I will build at least one affordable house.
Wow.
I will nationalise Adele.
Wow.
And people who use
Nationalise Adele.
speakerphone on public transport should be conscripted. It's stuff like that, you know. These are vote winners time and time again.
Well, Andy Burnham looks set to become the new Prime Minister.
95 times in this case, to be specific.
Here's the question. If you were Prime Minister of the UK, what would life look like under Prime Minister Binface?
Veggie text, Doc. Right, what's going to be on later? We're going to put on the veggie text. What's the page number? Look in the TV guide, love. What do we do? It's just coloured fucking buttons here. I'm fucking lost, mate. I'm fucking lost.
Well, good question. Good question. I mean, the first thing I'd do on entering Downing Street would be to increase the size of the door frame. You can't actually get inside. A bit of a problem. So we'd have to have a little bit of DIY.
Yeah, Andy, the deposits on standing in election, well, for Parliament, going to the thousands of pounds. Yeah, it's crazy. They do all, you know, some of them manage to crowdfund it, the independent candidates and novelty candidates or whatnot. But it's always on the line. It's always good when somebody was a serving MP, you know, they have the, 90 odd 100,000 plus salaries per year. And yeah, losing the deposit is always pretty good to see.
But after that...
But, of course, it does re-emphasise that not everybody can get £5,000 together to put themselves up for election. It's like, oh, anybody can stand. We're going to live in a free country with a democracy. You just have to have the right friends and £5,000. It's not much to ask, is it?
Well, I will enact my manifesto. So there we go. But then, of course, the word manifesto, I'm sure you understand, comes from two root words. Manifest, meaning very clear, and O, meaning nothing whatsoever. And that's how the other parties do it. But no, with me, what you see is what you get.
We are so grateful that you've been on our show. You've got a national Australian audience. Have you got a message for the good people?
He's going to get his own talk show, isn't he? You know he's going to get his own talk show eventually.
People of Australia.
I can't wait to see you guys when I make it over. And, of course, in the meantime, could you please stop being...
Start off with former soap opera actors and actresses, and then see how it goes from there.
quite so good at cricket, because it's breaking English heart. And I
think Nicole Kidman isn't replying to his emails.
Well, it would break your heart because we use your compatriots, bins, as stumps. So,
yeah, that is a policy of mine. That's got to stop. Yeah, if we could come to some kind of arrangement, maybe we could have some subsidised stumps so that you guys could
Should see what people do with them over here.
Play properly. But then that would make you even better, which would be terrible. So there's a bit of a cricket paradox going on.
I don't think you're ready for governing, Count Binface.
What's going on?
Well, then I could say I don't think you're ready for television presenting. I'm not that neat. So, we have our different views.
See, he's trying to get himself forward for that host position with that very smooth move there from Count Binface, who's looking to expand his career options, possibly.
Hey, Count Binface, you are one of our favourites. Long may your reign continue. We hope to see you keep popping up in by-elections in this galaxy and others. Would you please thank the wonderful Count Binface?
My pleasure. Lovely to see you guys.
Yeah. Quality. Do always like a bit of Binface. Here on My Left Eye, Derby and the Rangers. Back to CFAX. Yeah, Graham, good point. He is exposing democracy for what it is. He does it so well. On a recent stream as well, we played his interview with a Sky News reporter while they were at the count in Makerfield, and yeah, it was a masterclass. What do you mean, which one am I? Just look at the list. I'm not the fucking fox, am I? Oh, quality. Well, let's see. Do like a bit of that from Count Binface, but yeah, on some more serious matters now.
This is actually very serious.
And the lack of curriculum where the actual goings on of the British Empire are concerned, historically. Within schooling, that's a topic that came up on Zack Polanski's Bold Politics. So that's what we're going to take a look at next. Because there are some very fine points to be made, of course. As they mention here in the interview, you do have to go out of your way in further education to make yourself aware of these points. That is academically, of course. We obviously have things like YouTube and the internet now, but previous generations, of course, wouldn't have had any access at all unless they'd, out of their own curiosity, gone to find it out or find out about it in a library or whatever, for example. But where kids' education is concerned, it's very much a one-sided story. That's got to change. And that's what Zack's going to be going through in this interview. Do check out Zack Polanski's Bold Politics. He is, of course, a fan of this channel, as I pointed out in the past. Recommended.
When I studied history at school, it was the Tudors, it was the Romans, bit of Second World War. I don't remember talking about empire or colonization. Maybe schools have got better, but I imagine we're still not there. Why is this not taught in schools? And what is the benefit of when it is taught?
It's a very good question. And I think you're right. I've made this point a lot. And teachers correct me that it is possible to do at A-level modules on the British Empire, that they are available. But they're not core curriculum, and very few people do them, and very few teachers feel equipped to do them. It's still a very much a minority subject for most people. There are schools, particularly in London, with big minority catchments that make a point of doing it, but they are, a tiny proportion of the whole, which means that most British people are entirely ignorant about what is, for better or worse, the most important thing Britain ever did. Britain, through its empire, completely changed the face of the world over about 300 or 400 years. Not only did they change it within a sort of local European context, but they completely upended flows of global trade and ecosystems which had existed for millennia. The most obvious point being that for most of history, India and China dominated the world economy and that Europe was an add-on. If you look at the classical world, India and China are producing about sort of 70% of the world's GDP. That's still the case in the 18th century, with India producing, by some estimates, as much as 35-40% of the world's GDP. So first thing to say is, I suppose, that when we're looking at the world today, with seeing China already now as the world's number 2 economy, and India, I think currently number 5, but about to be number 3 if current trends continue by the end of the decade. It's going to overtake Japan and Germany, if they haven't overtaken Germany already. And what I think we're seeing is a reversion of the world trading system to what it was in the pre-colonial period. It's taken 80 years since the British left India, whatever it is, 75, 76 years. We're seeing the world, in a sense, recover from this brief blip when Europe smashed its way around the globe, moving populations around, moving natural resources around, looting some places, bringing wealth to Europe. And if you look at the big country houses in this, people go often for the weekend to the country, they go and see a national house, country house, and they have cream teas somewhere. And if it's a big Palladian house of the sort that you might see in a Jane Austen Sunday night drama with women in bonnets and chaps striding through ponds, Colin Firth appearing in sort of gorgeous outfits. If it's on the east coast of the country, quite probably it was built from East India Company money, in other words, the looting of India. If it's on the west coast of the country, somewhere near Liverpool or Bristol, it's more likely to be slave money, the Caribbean. But those two sources of wealth brought capital into Britain, and brought also, in the case of the West Indies, cotton into Britain, which was then milled in the Industrial Revolution, and which then gave the seed capital for Britain to accelerate massively through the Industrial Revolution, and provided the wealth which catapulted England from a kind of middle...
You're welcome, by the way. That all came from here in the Northwest as well. Slightly ironic, sarcastic, you're welcome.
Upper middle position in Europe, and Scotland from the very bottom. Scotland is even more dramatically than England, from the second bottom place in Europe to the second top in the world, between the beginning of the 18th century and the end of the 19th century. So this country is transformed. It transforms Britain, but it also transforms the world. And what gives us great prosperity often detracts from the prosperity of the looted countries, or the countries which have been plundered for enslaved peoples, or whatever it is. And it remains a strange quirk of our history system that we learn more about the wives of Henry VIII than we do about the entire looting of India or the Caribbean slave trade, which are these two crucial moments in British but also world history. And so the podcast I do, the Empire podcast with the wonderful Anita Anand, we've made a point of trying to tell the stories that both your education...
Yeah, just briefly interrupting to address a point in chat here as well. Jacqueline, about the curriculum, it is really dictated by whichever government's in charge at the time. For example, recently, Farage and Reform have come out and insisted that if they do win the next general election, then they'll insist on the Lord's Prayer being said in schools. This will be mandatory as well, and I think they've also proposed that this happens at council meetings as well, and there's been turmoil and protest as well against this in councils that they unfortunately have control of. So yeah, that is the case. It would be the government, whoever it is. It's down to the education secretary at the end of the day.
Education and other podcasts don't tell this enormous elephant in the room, which is the British Empire. And I think, to answer your question, the reason we don't learn it is that when the British Empire ended in the 1940s, 1950s, through to, in Africa, the 1970s, it became something which people stopped talking about. For example, the most popular picture at the Tate Gallery was Remnants of an Army, that picture of the doctor from the Afghanistan expedition limping in on his pony with the rescue force at Kandahar. Those sort of pictures, which had been enormous crowd pullers in the mid-19th century, got shoved into attics, or in the case of that particular picture, sent off to a regional regimental museum in Taunton in Somerset. Literally the most popular painting in the Tate got expelled down to Somerset. A whole bunch of paintings about Australia and New Zealand got given to Australia and New Zealand, just taken off the walls and dispatched. And the empire disappeared. By the time you get Monty Python in the 1970s or late 60s, the empire is a joke. You get sort of, Ronald of the Raj as a sort of comic figure, or carry out on up the Khyber.
Yeah, just a quick thing on his point about galleries and museums. The Tate Gallery, British History Museum, British Gallery, and so on. You walk through all of them, and in a lot of cases, the artifacts in there, it isn't the case that the countries that they came from went, here, please, take this back to Britain, to the heart of the empire, to put on display. No, we insist here, take the Elgin marbles, or whatever it is. No, it's plunder. Unfortunately, it's a lot of it's plunder, and it's sad that people walk around, and it is obviously right that they marvel at the artifact in itself for its own purpose or its artistic value or whatever it might be. But of course, the overriding question is, how was this appropriated or acquired by Britain? Which raises a greater moral question that you really have to ask yourselves when you find yourselves in such a location.
And people would mock their uncles, grandfathers and great-grandfathers who'd been there, fighting in India or whatever it was. And I think it's really taken the rise of a generation of post-colonial kids like my co-host Anita, like Satnam Sanghera, to redirect attention at this massive elephant in the room, the most important thing Britain did, and we don't learn about it at school.
No, we don't really well. But there. It's a really good show as well, Zack Polanski's Bold Politics. In fact, just another plug for Helena at No Justice again as well. She often appears with Zack, friend of the channel. A quote from The Jam from Graham in chats. We ruled the world, we killed and robbed the fucking lot. Which song's that from? If you'll kindly remind us in chat, Graham. I assume you mean the band The Jam. Little Boy Soldiers. I can't play it on stream for obvious reasons. Nice one. Tim, Red Green Alliance? What, as in Labour Greens? Oh no, I certainly hope and doubt not. Especially were anybody planning on voting for the Green Party is concerned, that would be a great betrayal. That would be akin to the Lib Dem swindle of the 2010 election, of course, that brought in the coalition of chaos in the first place. I really would hope not. In fact, I'm semi-certain that Polanski's already ruled anything like that out. Who knows? Okay, people, just need to do a quick reminder, have a poll in chat for those of you watching live. Please do let us know how you prefer to view my Left Eye live streams. Still in the lead with 60%, it's via PC or a laptop. No votes for TV yet, that's quite interesting. 30% for phone and 10% for tablet. So in the case of the 30% watching on a phone or 10% watching on a tablet, I'll just use that chance to remind you that you can help the channel out by opening up any of our video content, hitting thumbs up, and it should give you the option to contribute some hype points. It's completely free. Your hype points refresh every single week. It's a great way to help support the channel. So please do that on some of our recent content. I appreciate the solidarity this Socialist Sunday. And of course, for everybody, please make sure that you've hit the thumbs up button. Just try to squeeze that plug in there in my own sort of particular
Idiom, sir?
Idiom. Sorry for falling over my words a few times so far on the stream. I assure you I'm only drinking tea. What's next? Of course. Quite a recent feature. I think it's only the third outing for this one. But now have the latest as we keep our left eye on the media with Stop the Press.
Hey, listen to this!
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Stop the pressures!
Yes, people. What have the mainstream media been up to this time? What do they insist on reporting when we know full well that there are more important matters in the world? We'll start with this one, which actually comes from Radio 4's Today programme and their morning news. It's one of the few stories that they broadcast. They thought this one was the most important. It's not just the fact that it made it into the main headlines. I think this was from Thursday. But it's how it's reported as well. Because there are, well, a few telling lines in this brief report. Let's see what's happening. I'll play it through first and then analyse afterwards.
The Israeli military has said one of its soldiers has been killed in southern Lebanon during what it called operational activity. Clashes between Israeli forces and Hezbollah have been reported in the region despite a ceasefire. Donald Trump has given his first public reaction to the...
Okay, so let's just go through that one again. A very short report, as I said.
The Israeli military has said one of its soldiers has been killed in southern Lebanon
how did that happen?
During what it called operational activity.
Operational activity. So, this is essentially a please feel sorry for this soldier piece, but what it really should be is a soldier got killed illegally annexing South Lebanon and also breaking a ceasefire at the same time. It should have started with the ceasefire has been broken by Israel, of course, not this is what Israel wants you to think or focus on.
Clashes between Israeli forces and Hezbollah have been reported in the region despite a ceasefire.
Oh, really? And I wonder who's responsible for that. It certainly seems somewhat absent from this very brief report. So please do get your small violins out for this solitary IDF soldier. No mention of how many civilians they may or not have killed prior to their demise during the, again, illegal annexation of southern Lebanon. And, of course, the violation of the ceasefire treaty as well. Very poor from Radio 4 and Today.
Very poor indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
And unfortunately, it's the BBC that's the guilty party yet again in this next example. You can see here, this is just from the main BBC News homepage. Where's the music? From the BBC homepage. Thanks, Herbie. Or someone move the microphone a bit closer to the band, I mean. Yep, it's the BBC again on the homepage, and again, I'm pretty certain this is going to feature quite a lot on Stop the Press. They seem to think that we're interested in the comings and goings of a certain wealthy family. I'll just load this page now. We kicked off Stop the Press, of course, with news that a very rich boy is going to a very expensive and exclusive school. This time we've got the fella who used to be, second in line to the throne, but isn't anymore. Wealthy fella, considers if he's going to bring his wife, the missus, to and his kids to a UK trip. He's from the UK, of course. In fact, it's sort of, in a way, it's named after his family, the country. But he's just wondering if he's going to bring the missus and children. This is all paramount important news, of course. If you do have children in bed at the moment, I suggest you go and wake them and relay this incredible news to them after I've skimmed through the article, which is thankfully very brief, which also adds to the ridiculousness of its inclusion on the BBC homepage earlier today. So the Duke of Sussex is reconsidering plans to bring his wife and children next month after his request for police protection was rejected. He's just an ordinary guy now, of course. He's mentioned this quite a few times. They're just, ordinary multimillionaire people who think that they're entitled to police protection. And such a request shouldn't be seen as being overprivileged. I'll just go through a bit more. Apparently he's distraught about the decision, which was made just days before they're due to arrive, but he would still like to find a way to make the trip work. Pretty sure he can afford a fair bit of security himself. But their team, they've got just ordinary people, like they are now with a team. That say the couple have already accepted an offer to stay on a royal estate during a trip as a guest of the king, as you do, as we all do. Although the location of the royal residence selected had not been made public, just in case some nutter goes at them with a pitchfork. That last line wasn't in the actual article. Should just point out. So this is very pertinent, as I said. He's looking for a reconciliation with the royal family. He said he worried it would not be safe to bring the wife and kids back to his country of birth, and said, I can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back to the UK at this point, and the things they're going to miss is, well, everything. Although there are some, royal supporting right-wing nut jobs out there who do have it in for Meghan Markle, of course. Famously, Piers Morgan among them, really being an absolute twat following his rejection of the invitation of a date, which happened some time ago. Let's believe he asked Merkel out on a date, was rejected, and ever since has proceeded to troll her via his crappy fucking channel. So there you go. That's just about it for that story. Really riveting stuff from the Beeb. And no doubt more to come on further episodes of Stop the Press.
Hey, listen to this!
Who gives a dusty fuck?
Is that it?
Who gives a shit? Yeah. Oh! I'm very disappointed.
Okay, start the presses.
That takes 4 hours.
Whatever, I'll be at most.
It's a quality item. Champagne and strawberries, anyone? Yeah. Well, how did you guess? That's what I'm eating and drinking right now. As if. It's almost as exciting as Keith serving popcorn. Yes, certainly is. Next item, this is very brief. Just observed this whilst on social media this week. Just want to get your thoughts on it as well. Someone's flogging these t-shirts, or was flogging these t-shirts online. Italy football shirts, this is, but with a particularly interesting acronym as a sponsor, especially considering the the other symbol that appears beneath as well. Take a look at this, people. ERG, yes. Don't know if anyone who made this in Italy is aware. Politically, that has a bit of a different meaning over here in the UK, the ERG being the extreme right group that is a faction of the Conservative Party, the likes of Jacob Rees-Mogg. Yeah, you're very atypically misogynistic, xenophobic type as well. A lot of them have actually, well, some of them have actually moved over to Reform as well. But politically, yeah, where ERG is concerned, that's not really a name that you want emblazoned on the front of your t-shirt. And doubling down on the irony with the shield beneath it with the St. George's cross, no less. Really? Perhaps a bizarre coincidence, of course, but that's just what springs to my mind when I see that. European Research Group, yeah, the very far right of the Tories, of course. We heard a lot about them as we went through Brexit as well. European Research Group. ERG. Is it Rees-Mogg on the back? Number 0? I can't remember the name of the site that was flogging them. Extreme right group as well, as they became known as well colloquially, of course. Not great. Something else that isn't great is, of course, the climate crisis. We've made mention of this quite a bit this week. Sorry, where the obviously the recent record-breaking temperatures concerned here in the UK. We are just going to take a quick look. Unfortunately, a foreboding look at what is coming up as we get into early June. Early July. Now as we come towards the end of June. Here in Manchester, things have gotten a little bit cooler here today. But as this graphic here from the Met Desk illustrates, we are far from past the worst of it. Here in the UK, and also especially in other Western European countries such as France and Spain. Just take a look at this. I'll pull the graphic up first. Well, with me, people, I've got a few things to keep my eye on. There we go. Sorry, the chat's been lagging for quite a while there. Sorry about that. Oh, I can see that JK has joined us on chat as well. Nice to see you, JK. Sorry about the lag with the chat. But where was I? Yes, this is the map. as we go through. It's I'll pause it as we go through. It moves quite quickly here. As we go through each day, it's very small lettering at the top, so I'll just keep everybody up to speed. It's not often that we do weather on live streams, but of course this pertains to the climate crisis, the severity and increased frequency of these heat domes and other extreme weather events. So this is the outgoing heat dome, as you can see, as it'll start to move eastwards on the 1st of July in a few days. Then into the 2nd, you can see things more or less all across Central and Western Europe do cool down very briefly. But then you can see here on Friday the 3rd, just a couple of days later, very forebodingly in Western Spain, severe reds turning into darker red, indicating 30 plus degree temperatures getting towards 40 degrees, and then we also see that as we get into Saturday and Sunday here in the UK as well. Sorry, it moved quite quickly there. So on Saturday you can see, especially in central and southern areas of the UK, higher temperatures there again. But come the end of the weekend and Monday, take a look at this, people. So we're looking at pushing 40 degrees here in the UK, 45, 46 degrees in Western France as well. Yes, you did hear that quite correctly, maybe even 47. Tuesday, again, spreading across even more of France. You can see central and northeastern France, parts of Germany as well now, and central and eastern Europe. Now, under the cover of this tremendous heat dome, and it carries on as you get through the week, Thursday, Friday, all week. So do prepare the best that you can, people. There've been a few clowns around on social media recently as well. The old 1976 coming up again. Don't get me started on all of that. Yeah, very foreboding, unfortunately, people. But that is the climate crisis. Sorry again about this chat window. Sorry if I've missed any of your comments. Of course, Portugal. Forgot to mention Portugal. Apologies to Portuguese. Bom dia to Portuguese. Of course. And the Basque separatists. In case we have any Basque separatist viewers here. On my left eye, I think I've just about covered all bases there. Yeah, crazy weather, Tim. It was 2022 when the UK had 40 degrees. I remember that quite specifically because I was campaigning with Just Stop Oil in London during 2022, and obviously that had just happened. We began the campaign in London in October, the 1st of October it was, and that had just happened weeks prior. Set to happen again, and then again, and then again and again. Fortunately, the reality is somewhat ahead of a lot of the models out there. A lot of the more conservative models are used in the official stats as well. but certainly where the frequency of these high temperature events are concerned, they are happening a lot sooner than predicted. You can blame, you know, Shell, BP, Chevron, those kinds of people. Saudi Aramco. The usual suspects. They've actually known about the consequences of the fossil fuel usage since the 1970s. It's something that was proved by their own research, which they actually thought would dispel any claims that they were contributing towards a climate crisis. It backfired. It was suppressed. And yeah, 30 degrees even at night time here in the UK. Well, you heard me suffer on stream on Wednesday whilst we were doing PMQs. Made mention of it in the most recent video on the channel. Also, getting hotter through the day as well. I noticed in particular, obviously, as you get into summer, famously the temperature peaks at midday or the early afternoon, but it was getting hotter even around 4 or 5 p.m. Got up to about 35 here in Manchester. And stayed in the 30s, as Andy recently and rightly points out in chat. Sea temperatures going up as well. Thanks for making mention of the oceans there as well. We'll go from climate crisis and doom to something a bit more light-hearted now. Swift change of mood. Yes, hooray, we're all going to die, but let's maybe go out with a smile on our faces. Larry and Paul can certainly help where this is concerned. And this is their take on Starmer's departure. Link in the description, of course. They regularly appear on My Left Eye live streams. Do check them out.
Looking to take the next step in your career? The UK government is hiring and is now inviting applications for Prime Minister. Again, with a generous pay offer and a substantial severance package however long you stay. You can join the hundreds of people who've already been a Prime Minister in the past few years. Enjoy a fast-paced and dynamic work environment? You'll be alongside a team that changes practically every day. Not interested in being an elected politician? You could be offered £5 million as a mysterious personal gift, and then suddenly become very interested in being an elected politician. And don't worry about not having a high IQ. The right person for the job will know how to maintain important relationships and won't be afraid to take instruction when required. A criminal record? A massive backstabber? A history of previous failures? No problem. With our streamlined application process, you could be fast-tracked from ordinary human person to Prime Minister in just several weeks. Not ready to make a change? That's okay. Thanks to incredible pressure from the UK press and social media, our next recruitment drive probably begins in just under 2 years. Apply now and be UK Prime Minister. For a bit. The successful candidate must be lacking in integrity, moral fortitude and shame. The UK government is an equal opportunities employer and accepts applications from any fellow who went to Eton or Oxford at a push.
Larry and Paul, do go and subscribe, link in the description of the stream. As I said, you know them already. Sure. But just in case. yeah, very quickly back to Doom, as I can see the conversation carrying on in chat regarding humidity. That is, of course, a massive factor as well. The wet bulb temperature, as it's known, also. Essentially, and unfortunately, we're on track for this to happen realistically within the coming decades. It's essentially going to be a case that I don't know. It does get very terrifying. I don't know if I want to describe this. This is how it's described to me by I believe that this particular example is a Bill Maguire example. I think it is, yeah, because I can picture him saying it and being terrified the first time I heard this. But what happens is, essentially, sweating goes from being effective in cooling you down to effectively killing you. You sort of, not in terms of boiling as in reaching 100 degrees boiling point, but you sort of boil in your own sweat. It loses its effectiveness because of the humidity in cooling you down via evaporation, as it does naturally. It's an evolutionary advantage that we've had for some time. It is actually how we came to become successful hunters, because we can run down other mammals at great distances or over great distances, and because we have more of an ability to sweat than they do, they would eventually get knackered and shagged out before we did, and then be able to, whatever it was, not a deer or whatever it was. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, but that is one of the effects of high temperature and humidity, and it's terrifying because it's almost there's nothing you can do about it, essentially. And this is going to affect many millions of people and go into the billions, along with the food crisis, the shortage of water that will come, a whole plethora of consequences. So cheery and chirpy, aren't we? You've got to face the truth sometimes. Excellent trivia there in the chat there, Graham. Yes, of course, only humans and horses can sweat. That explains why you don't see the panda version of the Grand National. No, that is a fact. Excellent statting there, Graham. Time for the most recent and final reminder, actually, to let us know in the poll how you prefer to view My Left Eye live streams. A PC or laptop, TV or a phone or a tablet. Do let us know as we get towards the end of the stream. Stick around, people. Still owe a bunch of thanks to all of the members on the channel. 151 now. Other ways that you can help us out here on My Left Eye, of course, are with super chats, super stickers if you're watching live, super thanks. If you're catching up later on, don't forget the trusty Buy Me a Coffee page is always there in the description of any content on the stream. Sorry, on the channel. And a reminder, anybody who is watching on a phone or a tablet, please open up some of our non-stream content, hit thumbs up and contribute some hype points. That's quite a new feature. YouTube been around for a few months now. And it is totally free. Lots of ways to support the channel. Thank you to everybody who does, as always, solidarity this Socialist Sunday. Speaking of solidarity, we're going to show some ourselves and pay it forward to another left-wing channel. We'll see what we've got. Like I said earlier, if No Justice and or Kev are there, we're going to hop over that way. You can get a chance for some deeper analysis of Victoria Derbyshire, filling in for Laura Kussenberg. And we do. We'll go into Kev in that case. Try and alternate. I think we last raided into Helena. And I'll join you over there for a bit myself, of course. Hit thumbs up, show some solidarity this Socialist Sunday. That's all set now. We'll go back into the Fondue Lounge as we say our goodbyes. It's hello and goodbye to Comrie joining us in the chat just as we're about to dive over into the Fondue Lounge. But stick around. Nice to see you nonetheless, Comrie. Hope you're well. Solidarity this Socialist Sunday as well. Pleasure as always. Solidarity across borders as well. All right, yeah, for one of the final times, don't know how many times, the Fondue Lounge.
It's a quality item, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sure it'll last at least another week, so we will have an opportunity for more cheese base goodness, whatever. Yeah. Thank you very much, people, for joining us on stream this evening. You've all been incredibly awesome in chat and cordial as always, of course. As far as live streams here on My Left Eye are concerned, we'll be back with the Brews of 10, of course, throughout the week. Do hit the notification button so you don't miss out there. And I believe all that remains for me to say is have yourselves a very good evening. I'll see you over on Kevin Logan's live stream. I've been your humble host, Lefty. This has been the Sunday live stream on My Left Eye. Power to the people. Free Palestine, Lebanon, Sudan and Yemen. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Don't watch the news. Be the news. My Left Eye will be seeing you very soon. Solidarity. Good evening, everyone.
It's a quality item, ladies and gentlemen.